Now let's take a look at selection sort. I'll bring up the same list that we use for bubble sort, and we'll look at it like this, just like we did before. But a difference that we're going to have here is that we also need the indexes for selection sort. So I'm going to bring these in. So with selection sort, we look at this first item, and then we're going to keep track of the index where the minimum value is. And since this is the only one we've looked at so far, this first item, we'll say that the minimum index so far is at the index of 0. So an important thing to emphasize here, min index is the index where the minimum value is. We're not storing the value, we're storing the index in this variable. Then we're going to have a for loop that starts at the next item over. And we'll say, is this value less than the item that's at the index of min index? In this case, min index is the index of 0. And in this case, it is. So now we're going to store this index here, and we're just going to move across. Is this one less? It is not. This one is not, but this one is. So we'll change min index to 4, and then we'll move to here. And we've gone all the way through, and the minimum index is at the index of 4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to switch these values. And when we do, that value of 1 at the index of 0 is sorted. I'll color that in green. So then we're going to move to the next item, and we're going to store that in min index, and we'll compare it with everything throughout the rest of the list. In this case, nothing is less than what we started with at the index of 1. And this is a special case that we'll have to code for when there's not going to be a swap. And we'll see that in the next video when we code this. So then we move to the next item. And min index is going to be 2. I'm going to take this min index and move it to the left like this, because we're going to run out of room on the right there as we get all the larger items pushed over. And this next item will be less. So now the min index is 3, and this will switch it again. This one's even less. So min index equals 5. So we'll take that value at the index of 5 and swap it with the one we started with. And now that 3 is sorted. We're going to start out with this 5 that's at the index of 3. We'll compare it to the next one that's less at the index of 4. This one is not less, so the minimum index is at 4. We'll switch these. Now that 4 is sorted. Then we move to this next one. Min index is 4. We compare it to this one. We don't need to make a swap here. These are both sorted. So it's worth noting that we don't have to do this a 6th time at the index of 5. We only had to do this at the indexes of 0 through 4. So I'm going to put this list back to the way it was like this, and we'll pick up here in the next video when we code selection sort.